going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 29 of the Potty Mouths podcast, also known as PMP, also known as Greg Lags. Every fucking episode now for some reason. Anyway, we are going to do the NFL that was. We haven't recapped the last weekend. We'll talk a little NBA Cup to start. We'll get into Army Navy, which was the only big game from the weekend. There was a big MLB trade, and we'll do our typical diaper dandy, and we'll finish with the Vinny Vidi Vici. Tomorrow will be our CFP preview. We'll touch on NFL a little bit, and then tomorrow we'll do the trivia, the flush wipe type, and we'll give you our flush picks. So we'll start off with the NBA, which we don't normally do, but they're trying to push this NBA Cup. They're mimicking European soccer. Last year it was called the in-season tournament. This year it's the Emirates NBA Cup. And it was actually I jumped in late. I jumped in for the quarterfinals. The semifinals were two good games. With Atlanta and Milwaukee going down to the wire, and then the Thunder pulled away late from the Rockets, and then in the final, it was similar to that game where there was a really close game at half, and then the Bucks pull away late. Bucks win 97-81. Giannis gets MVP. He had a triple-double in the final. He had 26 points, 19 boards, 10 assists. Dame Lillard was 5 for 10 from three-point land. 23 points. I think this is a good thing where they've done this thing 2 years in a row. And you really can't ask for a better result if you're the NBA, where you have LeBron and Giannis winning this thing. So it kind of legitimizes it. They're going to hang banners. People are going to mock it. But by the time the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th banner goes up, people will be used to it. I'm sure people, well, I don't know this, but maybe the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup in English Premier League, maybe people frowned on that to begin. You know, those at the start of them, they're very old competitions, but who knows? No one likes change. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder was 8 for 24, 21 points. So the final was in Vegas. I think it's they're trying to make it legit. The Bucks were 7-0 in the tournament, so they were playing hard. They're trying to win this thing. They got extra money. People mock it, but it's not going away. And I heard that there were a lot of influencers in Vegas at the game, which just means eyes and their millions of followers are seeing their Instagram stories. So maybe it will be the hip thing to go to, around Christmas time in Vegas. I don't know. I don't shit on it. I don't shit on this thing like a lot of other people do. I know people are shitting on the NBA All-Star game now, but they're just copying what the NHL did. So whatever. Say what you want. It's a good thing when you have two of the best players of all time winning this thing and taking it seriously. Giannis was dancing with the MVP trophy, so whatever. That's my little NBA tidbit. NBA Cup final goes to the Bucks in its second year, and the games were pretty damn good overall. So that's all I have to say about that. And now we'll get into the football of it all.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on the NBA, I mean, I lost interest after the Knicks kind of lost that game to Atlanta that night for the Cup to get to Vegas, but ratings are down big for them. So I guess they're trying to get as much eyes on the game, like you said, as possible. I think they're down like almost 30% this year alone. So I guess influencers and whoever has to get their to the game, at the game, promote the game, whatever it might be at this point. But
I don't think, and I know it's down. I think there are a lot of factors why it's down, but I don't think the NBA cares that much because they're going to Amazon. Those
I
checks are
don't
gonna
know. I don't
those
know.
checks are
You
going to
know more
clear.
than I do. So
I'm just
I'm
well,
not.
so next year, and TNT loses those 2 games on Thursdays, Tuesdays in the fall, Thursdays in the winter and spring. Those checks from Amazon are going to clear a lot of money. So I don't think the NBA is really. I mean, all these young influencers at this game, they don't watch TV, they stream. So I don't think the NBA is losing sleep. They're aware of it, and we'll see how ratings are come February, March, April into the playoffs. But I don't think it's a huge deal.
All right.
Um, and they're going back to China. They're getting that market back. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
All right. Let's catch up with the NFL, shall we? Dolphins Texans. Texans at home with the win, 20-12 over the Dolphins. 203 interceptions. Did not look good at all this game. I actually watched the majority of it. Just turned the ball over too much. I actually expected a lot more out of the Dolphins here on the road. Nico Collins, 2 touchdowns for the Texans. Good home win for the Texans here. Does that clinch them the division, that win? And the loss
Yeah,
of
I believe so. And the Colts lost.
yeah, okay.
I
All right.
believe it did.
Yeah. I mean I didn't know what the other deciding factor was since they won, so I think it was Colts losing and somebody else, but can't turn the ball over to her. Can't turn the ball over. Next game, Indianapolis goes to Denver. Denver comes away 31-13. This game was close at one point. And then Denver just kind of pulled away. 5 turnovers for the Colts. Is that 5 turnovers total?
Yeah, there were 5 turnovers
Total.
total.
Okay. 2 picks, 3
Two
fumbles
picks,
lost.
3 fumbles lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Colts lost their chance at the division with that sloppy play.
Okay. Um, yeah, Broncos are a team that I would have never expected to be where they are with their record right now. So, um, got them going in the right direction out there in the Mile High City. This was game of the week. Bills Lions. Bills 48, Lions 42. Allen has another monster game. 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, 68 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Guy's a machine. I think you had said it a couple weeks ago. He is on a mission for this MVP award. He got engaged. He's a new man. He's got some support at home. He had said today. His biggest supporter is his new fiance, and I don't know what goes on there and how it goes on there, but God bless and keep doing whatever you're doing because he's putting up some video game numbers right now. It's wild. And the Lions lose Montgomery, and for the rest of the season, so he's out. And then another defensive player is out for the season for them now too. I'm not sure. So this score is not, in my opinion, as close as the game really was. I don't know. Did you watch this whole thing?
Yeah, the Lions were getting smacked, and
Yeah.
then you look up and they're down 10. And I was watching with my buddy Greg, and I was like, imagine they do this. Imagine they get
Yeah.
get the touchdown, get the onside, and they could tie this game, but they didn't. Yeah, did you hit on Allen's stats or no?
Yeah, 362, 2
Yeah,
touchdowns in the air, 68 yards in the ground, 2 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, what more can you ask for out of
yeah.
anybody?
I mean, his
Insane.
I saw a chart on Twitter. Burrow and Lamar actually have better stats if you look at the everything, but he's going to win MVP because his team's winning. And with Mahomes' questionable leg injury, the ankle, we'll see. And then this opens up the NFC North, um, pretty damn wide. If the Lions can fall and they have a ton of injuries to deal with, Minnesota's right on their tail, and the Packers are hot. So the Lions are battling. Was it attrition? So we'll see if they have enough bodies to get that bye, like everyone thought they were definitely going to get just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we'll see what happens now. One running back down, and now it's all on Gibbs. And I saw Hutchinson thinks he's going to come back for the Super Bowl. That's if they make the Super Bowl. So
Gives him the rock.
Gibbs him the rock so he
Gives him
can
the goal line
perform.
touches. Finally, I've been waiting 2 years in fantasy for this guy to get every goal line
Finally,
touch.
finally. Tampa goes to LA, puts a beating on the Chargers, 40-17. Baker Mayfield, 288, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Did not see much of this game. Saw some highlights. Saw Mike Evans scoring. Saw Bucky running wild. Chargers looked bad in this game. Not what I expected out of them, to be completely honest with you. But good win for the Bucks on the road. Bucks are
Dangerous.
dangerous, heating up at the right time here, getting into this late part of the season. They were dangerous last year too, but the Lions had other plans for them. But if they get into, I don't want to get into a shootout with them. I don't want to get into a shootout with Baker. Defense played well last week. That's the Charger team that I think we kind of all expected all year. I think they were overachieving going into this game so far. The results are what they are for them at this point. But 40-17 Bucks over the Chargers.
Yeah, Baker looks
Baker.
great. I just real quick, Baker looks great. I'm happy for Bowles. I never disliked Bowles. And Evans is healthy and he's a bear. So no one's gonna want to play the Bucks. They already beat a healthy Lions team early in the season. So and then maybe the Chargers defense is overrated because they just gave up 40 at home and they played tonight. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna want to play the Bucks or the Packers in the playoffs. To a lesser extent, I'll say the Vikings because their defense shows up every week. But I think Darnold can be had if you're, a good defense. But we'll see. The NFC is not Lions and the rest now. The Lions have fallen on hard times. So the NFC just got more very, very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out going forward. Battle of Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh Steelers go into Philadelphia Eagles. 27, Steelers 13. What we thought was going to be the Devontae Smith show. Did he not play? He played, right?
No, he played.
Yeah.
He played well.
Yeah, he played well. Turned into being the Hurts, the A.J. Brown show. 8 receptions, 110, and a touchdown for A.J. I guess they kind of put their differences behind them for this one. I think Watt got hurt. He didn't finish the game. Not much from Saquon, really. Earth-shattering.
Yeah. The Eagles are, one of those teams that could swoop in and take the number one seed from the NFC North and specifically the Lions. They're on fire. Interested to see if they need a loss to humble them a little bit. But yeah, like you said, for 1 week, Hurts and Brown, quieted the drama for at least 1 week. But they're good. That's a good Steelers defense, at least. I didn't think Steelers would win this game. They're very limited on offense, especially with Pickens out. But the Eagles are for real, and they're making statements late.
You got to move on from Najee Harris, right? Like it's done.
I would think so.
Right? You can't keep thinking he's going to show up like the first year because it's year 4 now, and it's digressing.
Yeah, I would think that
every year.
This year proves that Henry moving teams, Saquon moving teams. Was this Dobbins? Is this Dobbins' first year?
Yeah.
In Detroit? Yeah, they played great. Dobbins coming off the injury and now injured again, but he played great when he was out there. So I think the NFL's learning. I think these GMs are learning that you can sign running backs, give them a little money, and improve your offense tenfold. So I think Arthur Smith there, the offensive coordinator, he knows better than anyone what a good running game does. He had that running game and Tannehill get the number one seed just a few years ago in the AFC. So I think they would look to upgrade the running back position, I would hope, because Warren, decent third down back, but I don't think they have an every down back.
No, they don't.
In Pittsburgh.
I agree. One of the Monday night games, Chicago Bears went to Minnesota. Vikings 30, Bears 12. Aaron Jones on the ground, 86 yards and a touchdown. Jefferson, 7 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. I watched this game. The Bears are bad, and I
Yeah.
don't. And it's just, I mean, there's quarterbacks that you watch, and you're like, okay, like he needs some time. I don't understand Caleb Williams. I don't know if it's the coaching aspect of it at this point because they don't have a coach really. He's hard to watch, and that team is really hard to watch. And the Vikings, I feel like Sam could have done anything he wanted in that game, and he looks really, really good. That's like the first game since the San Francisco game that I watched fully of him playing. Um, the way he's been throwing the ball and getting it out to almost everybody is wild. He's going to get paid this year. I don't expect him to be back there, but man, what a performance from him this season. And I don't know if McCarthy's healthy, if Sam really gets that chance in the beginning, if that was what their plan was to begin with. But um, the Bears are just, I don't even know what the answer is, honestly. I mean, Jaden Daniels is worlds above Caleb Williams. I mean, it's not even
And
in
Bo Nix is,
and Drake May is a worlds above Caleb Williams
yeah,
right
May
now.
looks good.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping he turns it around. I'm hoping that maybe he gets a Ben Johnson or somebody like that they're talking about. I'm not sure if that's gonna make. I don't know. His decisions making's bad. He panics and then he gets. Sometimes I feel like he's not gonna get up. He gets beat up pretty much almost every play. Obviously a line issue. Obviously, I feel like he almost doesn't know some of the plays. As stupid as that sounds, it looks so bad. But I mean, those other guys I just mentioned are in another league compared to the number one pick this year.
Yeah, people were asking me, is Caleb going to be good? This was like middle of last college football season. People
Yeah.
ask me, is Caleb going to be good? Is Caleb going to be good? Like, what's his comp? And I said, he's a poor man's Josh Allen,
Mm.
and he's playing like a poor man's Josh Allen, aka first couple years Josh Allen. But Josh Allen didn't go through that coaching change and all that. So, but he's got all the weapons in the world. Obviously, they need to invest in the offensive line. They would be wise to hire an offensive head coach.
Yes.
Um, so we'll see. The Bears, like a few teams in the league that are notorious for never finding the right quarterback.
Yeah,
The Bears.
absolutely.
I think Jay Cutler was there for like a handful of years. He has like all their records. So the Bears might have their guy, but they need to protect him. I don't want to say give him help because he's got a good tight end. And he does have 3 good receivers, and he's got a decent running back. So he has weapons, but he needs protection now, not help, not skill guys. So we'll see what happens there. But the Vikings, you said it, and this wasn't even a sharp game from Darnold because even Jefferson dropped the ball at like the 4. He could have turned around and got a touchdown. Jefferson also got tackled at the 1. So Sam and he wasn't too sharp like in the second quarter and late, but it didn't matter because their defense wasn't gonna give up 2 touchdowns even. So, um, yeah, good coaching and veteran guys equal wins in the NFL. Looks like with the Vikings. So we'll see. Lot to be decided. A lot more weeks left to play in the NFL. So we'll be on top of that for you guys, and we'll see what happens in the playoff picture. Will be much more clear in the coming weeks. And obviously, with the Lions injuries and the Lions' recent losses, and with Mahomes' leg, and the surge now from the Eagles and the Bills, we'll see what happens with these 1 seeds and the wild card teams and stuff. It should be fun if you love football. It's shaping up to be a pretty wide open playoff bracket. So it's cool.
And
It's a
some
good thing.
game tonight, game Saturday, game Sunday, game every day. Bowl games, a
Yeah.
lot of football.
Yeah,
A lot of football.
I don't love that we're stepping on each other's toes this Saturday, but whatever.
What do you mean?
I don't love that the CFP doesn't have the Saturday to themselves
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's nonsense,
because
honestly.
it's actually on paper, it's actually two good NFL games on
Right.
Saturday on
Yep.
paper. But I do think there will be blowouts. Um, your brother actually sent me Adam Schefter's tweet um, about how good Saturday is, like the slate. And on paper, yeah, but I think there will be blowouts. I think we will be bored by about 3 games. Um, but speaking of games, we have one tonight, right?
We do have one tonight. We have the Who do we have tonight? The Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. Chargers at home -2.5. Short week coming off a loss for the Chargers. Broncos coming off a win to traveling. That line is weird to me. I'm gonna take the Broncos here. If the Chargers are gonna come off a short week with the beating they just took from Tampa, I can't see them turning around all of a sudden and beating a Denver team like this. The Denver team that's playing well. So I'm gonna jump on the Bronco bandwagon. Um, Big game in LA tonight for the Broncos.
Our favorite baseball team has a slogan from, I believe, the 60s, right?
You gotta believe.
I'm going to take that and I'm
Mm.
going to apply that to my favorite NFL team. You got to believe that the Bengals are still alive
Yeah, they are.
and they need the Chargers to win this game
Okay.
because the Bengals can beat Denver next week, have owned that tiebreaker, and if the Bengals win out and Denver slips up, there is a lane, especially with the Colts and Dolphins not being good. There is a lane where Burrow can get his team into the playoffs. So you got to believe. So I'm for that reason I am going with the Chargers at home. They do miss Dobbins, and they haven't been playing well as of late, and their defense has given up a ton of points the past like 3 or 4 weeks. But I still don't believe in Bo Nix when the lights are brightest.
Mm.
Even though the Broncos defense is pretty damn good. So give me the Chargers to win and cover, assuming the line is still 2.5. Give me the Chargers tonight to win a very important game for the Bengals. That's my
Two and a
angle
half.
tonight.
Yep, it's
That's
still two
that's
and a half.
that's my angle tonight.
Big big Knicks game tonight. Guys, the boys are playing each other against the Timberwolves. That should be interesting.
Yeah, it's the I know Josh Hart's out for personal reasons. I don't know. I don't want
Mm.
to. I don't want to assume anything. Hopefully everything's all right. But yeah, that's the second game of the doubleheader tonight. The first game I believe is Orlando and OKC, which is a very good game. Um, so yeah, good NBA if you don't want to tune into Bo Nix against Justin Herbert.
All right. So this past weekend we had the most important college football game. There was other games on, but this is the one that we kind of touched base on before the end of last week. We had talked about the Navy Army game. Um, I had Army in this game. I thought Army would have come out and won this game, but um, Navy played their ass off in this game. I watched a little bit of it as I was picking up dinner. Felt like Navy couldn't really kind of do anything wrong. Army couldn't do anything right from what I watched. Blake Horvath, 4 of 9, 107, 2 touchdowns, 25 carries, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, Commander in Chief trophy goes to the midshipman, goes back to Annapolis. Um, I'm not sure. Now? Are they in bowl games? Those two teams, or what are they? What's their
Army
future?
Army better be. I haven't checked again. I
Yeah, I'm
didn't.
not
You had to
sure.
tell me. You had to tell me
Yeah,
where LSU was poll wise
right.
last week. But
I know. I apologize.
I also had Army and they got their asses kicked. There's no other way to put that. It looked like they expected to just pummel them. Maybe whatever they saw on tape, they got a little full of themselves. But Horvath played great. I also don't love that. Um, it was down there. It was like neutral field where I believe Army was supposed to be the home game, the home
Home
team.
team, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I don't love that when the game is so close to Annapolis. But yeah, Army got thrashed and Horvath showed up. Um, The best thing about this game were the uniforms.
Yeah, they
I
were
I,
awesome.
I showed them last week. The Jolly Roger stuff. I'm a big fan of what Navy was wearing, and Army looked pretty cool too. But yeah, I was kind of joking, saying that if Army won, they would have an argument to be in the
Yeah, well,
CFP. But that's null and void now. Let's see if Army is in a bowl game. Independence Bowl.
mm-hmm.
Is this the one that Marshall opted out of?
Yeah,
So Louisiana Tech versus Army in the Independence Bowl. I see.
nice,
And then
nice.
Navy plays Oklahoma in the Armed Forces Bowl.
Okay.
Hopefully they can smack Oklahoma because no one likes Oklahoma,
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, so that was that. And then one thing to get to with baseball wise, it's been slow, it's been quiet. You would assume so, so close to Christmas and New Year's, and then I'm sure the first week of January, Burns will land, Bregman will land, Arenado might accept the trade, he vetoed a trade to Houston. But the big thing was, like I said, when Vin did the breaking news that Tucker was a Cub, that I said so, Ballinger's a Yankee, and it came true. I believe, like Hank Poteet, I believe that was like the main piece
Shout
sent
out,
to the Cubs. I think that's
shout
his
out.
name.
No, I think it's Cody Petit.
Cody, but oh my bad, Hank Poteet. I don't know who you are, but you got some love on PMP.
Shout out, Hank.
Um, so Bellinger reportedly will play center field. So first base and third base are still open for the Yankees to make a move, whether it's Pete Alonso, Christian Walker, Nolan Arenado. We'll see what the Yankees do. They're not done. They were probably going to add one more bat. And we'll see. I know the Mariners are trying to get Josh Naylor, whatever you want to call him. I heard Marte. People are calling for Marte, and I heard that Pete has no market still. So
Yeah, I heard
so
that too.
so we'll see. We'll see. Everything will be after New Year's. Everything will be much more clear. And I heard that Houston doesn't want to give, I believe, a 6-year to Bregman. I think that's
Well, obviously they have no interest if they're trying to trade for Arenado yesterday, and he declined
yeah.
it.
Unless they were trying to put Arenado out first, but I doubt it because they don't
I
want to
doubt it.
spend money anymore.
Yeah,
Because they
they're
let
done.
Springer go, they let Correa go. Obviously, Cole's gone.
Windows closed.
Verlander was gone. So we'll see. They're gonna retool down in Houston. I'm sure all the Yankee fans are proud of that because that was their biggest competition for a while.
Yeah.
And then we'll do Diaper Dandies. We'll do Vinny Vidivici, and then we're out of here. And then we'll come back tomorrow with a look ahead. So Diaper Dandy, I'm gonna shout out to Diaper Dandy because he's still in college, soon to be a pro. Shout out to Travis Hunter for winning the Heisman. Great numbers when I really looked at him. 92 receptions, 1,152 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns. That's a 12.5 yard average per catch. On defense, he had 4 interceptions, a forced fumble, 31 tackles, and 11 passes defended. Or is that deflections? Passes defended, I believe that is. He's a stud. He was the best player in college, all around. He was the best player in college. He did it on both sides of the ball. If Genty won, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If Cam Ward won, I would raise an eyebrow for a second, because those two guys shined a little brighter across the whole season. Just and not that Cam lost Miami any games, but Genty and Hunter were just as good, if not better, overall throughout the whole season when you really look at it. And then I didn't think Dylan Gabriel was anything special. I think he's just an old replacement who replaced an old quarterback in Knicks. Any thoughts on the Heisman winner or voting or anything?
I thought the best college football player this year won the award. I don't have any issues with that. I think that um, the kid from Boise's numbers were. I didn't realize how once the obviously I didn't see a ton of him. I saw highlights of him, but the comparison to a lot of the other guys in the past that have won the Heisman running back wise, his numbers were, you know,
Yeah, he might
as
break
good,
the
if not better.
single season record, right? Rushing.
So yeah, so that was some competition. I thought he would have got a little bit more, couple more votes than he did, to be honest with you. But no, I don't have any issues with this. I said it a couple weeks ago when Cam Ward was just floundering, when the Miami Hurricanes were floundering, and I said, well, Travis Hunter, regardless of where he is and who he plays for, is the best college football player on both sides of the ball. So congratulations to him for winning the Heisman this year. And yeah, I mean, it's just generational. I called him Otani, right? A couple of weeks ago, I said he's the Otani of college football, and he is, and he's good. So it's he's got a bright future. Hopefully, he's not a Giant or a Jet.
Yeah.
If he wants to last in the NFL.
That's a good point. We'll see where the hell he lands.
Yeah.
Yeah. What bowl they in?
They're all playing. I know that.
Oh, really? Shador and Hunter are playing. I know
Yeah,
Cam Ward's playing and
yeah.
Restrepo.
I think they're playing in the Texas Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Alamo Bowl. They're playing the BYU Cougars. That'd be a good game
Oh, that
if
is a good game.
BYU is playing. Yeah.
That's a good game. All right. All right. Well done by the committee or whoever the hell invites these teams. All right, Vin. We're winding down. It's almost the end of the episode. It's your time to shine. So let me hit the graphic before you get going. It is time for Vinny, Vidi, Vici. The floor is yours.
No, it's just the stories that came out today in regards to your former team, the New York Jets, in regards to Woody Johnson and all the noise that he has caused that team and organization over so many years. A lot of information came out today. Being a Met fan and from bad ownership, we've kind of dealt with the Wilpons for all these years, and I think Woody Johnson is head and shoulders above, as if not the biggest asshole of ownership in New York in the last 20 years, 30 years, however long he's been around with everybody else. But um, I'm reading stories today. Joe Douglas came out and said that he was answering to Woody Johnson's like nephews inside meetings, and the wife is criticizing players, and Aaron Rodgers even came out and said he told him to have some patience with Hackett and Saleh, and the next thing you know, he fires Saleh. Um, it's it's kind of just the results are what they are because of a guy like him, where he has zero idea, clue, anything that to benefit and better this team. He does everything the complete opposite way, and it's a shame because there's so many great people that are out there that are Jet fans that have survived this disaster in the last however many years now. However, I mean, I guess the Sanchez years it feels like 100 years ago at this point. But he came out and told Mike White he sucked, and he cursed. There's words in there that I'm not even going to say because he's a disaster, Woody Johnson. But to tell the kid when he's playing hurt and going through this and putting the uniform on for your team to be as successful as they possibly can, because there's nobody else. B, he played pretty damn good for the most part. That kid, coming from nowhere and winning some games, injured, played, never said a word. And to come out and sit there and tell him that he sucks and he's not good and this and that, it's just who as a free agent would want, if you're a free agent, Greg, would you want to come to the New York Jets and Woody Johnson as an owner? Oh, because I'm going to tell you something before you answer. Your Madden rating might not be what he's looking for. Because that Jerry Jeudy conversation with a trade on the line to get him to New York, but Woody Johnson says his Madden rating wasn't high enough, so they declined the trade.
And Jerry Judy is a 1,000-yard receiver for the first time in his career this year. He's had a couple games where he went bonkers. But anyway, I'll I'll answer your question with a question, which I don't like.
Sure.
Which I don't like to do. What coach and GM wants to take the job openings under Woody Johnson? Don't forget about. I mean, yes, good point with the free agents. Money talks. So if they open their
Yes.
wallets, I'm sure some schlep
Yeah.
will come here. But why would Vrabel want to work for this guy? Why would Lewis Riddick or is it Dimitrov, the old Falcons guy? Why would they want to work for this guy?
No chance. No positivity at all. Nothing. You
I
can't.
think he's going to have to hire Rex again,
10 and Rex.
or like maybe he's the guy that finally hires Bieniemy because he's got
Yeah.
no options. Like I don't know what's going on. Someone said maybe Aaron Glenn will come back because he used to be a Jet.
Yeah, I doubt it.
If they hire an inexperienced defensive head coach again, I mean, I don't
Toast.
care. I don't care.
No, you're not. You're out.
I'm out. I've been out.
You're out.
I've been out. And if he's planning on handing that team down to his
Nephew?
teenage sons that are playing Madden in his ear, like at least Joe Shane's son was like, "Hey, you should take Jaden Daniels." Like at least Shane's son on Hard Knocks for the Giants. At least he had an eye for talent, but
what's the dynamics that they're at this point? Like, what's the selling point? Like, first of all, I think that if anything, Vrabel's going to wind up going to Ohio State, in my opinion, because I don't think they're going to keep. Pending, obviously, Ohio State gets the national championship, wins the national championship, then the conversation's out the window.
Ohio State won't score in Tennessee. They're out.
Okay, so then Vrabel goes there.
I could see that.
What's the selling point? I mean, like, what do you like of these guys that are on the team right now in the roster? Like, you want to come back and play for, like, does Devontae Smith next year want to come back? Not Devontae Smith. Devontae Adams want to come back next year and play, put a Jet uniform on again and play?
Is it in his contract where if Aaron's not there, he has an out?
Yeah, probably.
So apparently Woody doesn't like Rodgers.
Well, he's the one who signed them.
It's a joke. He's a joke. He said what he said to an injured, battling player favorite, fan favorite, Mike White. He said that, right?
Yep.
And then he has the nerve the next year to say, why didn't we have a backup? When you had a backup and then you told him he sucked after he was mad that he lost the game for you.
It's a clown show, and it's
bad. He's the clown. He's the clown of the show.
Clown. And he's the head circus guy. You're right.
Not that I would have wanted him really, not now. But when Bill Belichick calls you to check about the job opening,
answer the phone.
You don't take the call.
Answer the phone, guy.
But you call Peyton Manning, who went out of his way to not be on your team and go back to college. That's who you decide. And from that phone conversation with Peyton Manning, you hire Adam Gase. It's just a joke. The team should be stripped from him for just being an embarrassment and
abuse.
Maybe teaser. I think tomorrow has to be flush wipe dipe. Worst NFL organization, and you have to say Jets, Bears, Browns, Panthers, because the Panthers.
Yeah, he's a bad owner.
Panthers had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield.
Yep, bad ownership
in that quarterback room.
Look, we've had that conversation a bunch of times on this show. I mean, you can throw the Cowboys in there too. I don't care what they're.
At least when they're healthy, they're competitive though.
I guess
the Jets are a joke. The Panthers are a joke. The Bears are trying. They're a joke. The Browns are just the Browns, and like, I'll put the Giants up there.
Yep.
But the Jets might be the worst, and the Lions turn it around with a new GM and a new coach and eye for talent and a great offensive line.
Yep.
And you look at what Sam Darnold's doing. You look what Geno Smith is doing. You look at Mekhi Becton on the Eagles playing great. It's just I
He
don't like
really is.
I don't like to
Playing
throw
great.
certain words out there about sports, but he is a disease. I won't say the C word because I don't like using that and when it's not
Disease.
serious.
He is a
He
serious
is a disease. He is the venom in that organization that's bringing it down.
destructive
He's
disease.
poison. He's human poison. And I really hope there's an email, like a Gruden email that he
Yeah,
has to
right.
sell. I hope he
Yeah.
said hope he said the wrong thing to the wrong person and
Yeah.
he's got
They
to
got it.
go.
It would be a
But who
blessing.
knows?
It'd be a blessing.
It's just
But there's good news on the horizon. We're going to be back tomorrow again. We're going to talk college football. We're going to go talk NFL. We're going to go hopefully talk about some other signings. I doubt it from baseball, but we'll see what we can get our hands on tonight. Maybe something interesting pops up. Maybe the Mets sign another fourth-round guy from some foreign country to represent them in the starting rotation. We can talk about that. We can also talk about whatever Greg wants to do. Probably some pop culture, some trivia. So we have an action-packed day tomorrow.
I know the pop culture tidbit. I know what we're doing there, and then we'll stick around. We have trivia.
Yeah.
We will have Flush Wipe Dipe tomorrow, and we will dive deep into the CFP and do a quick look ahead to the NFL weekend, and then we'll go into Christmas, the week of Christmas, right? It's crazy. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do what you got to do to get more of us. I've started tweeting. I'm on Blue Sky for the show. I'm trying to reach people. So if you want to interact with us, Instagram, I believe 7 a.m. this morning, I dropped the Woody Johnson crap. So, all right, people. See you guys tomorrow. Vin, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Look forward to it. Tomorrow's going to be fun, just like today was, but more information, better games, college football.
And a better mood because Woody Johnson's a mood killer. He's
mood killer.
All right, later, everyone.